Nope. No. Not that. No. Oh, that's not it. Oh. Oh, there. No, that's not it. Nope. Is that it? Is that it? That looks... No, that's not it. Nope. Not that either. Nuh-uh. Nope. Come on. I know there's one here somewhere. It's a toy store. Every toy store has got to have one somewhere, lingering around. I'm just not looking in the right place. Just got to keep searching. Oh, I found one. I knew it was here. I knew it was here. Jeez. How long has this thing been shelf warming? Behold, Transquito in his natural habitat, an unopened box. Social distancing since 1997 and not by choice. It's just a toy nobody wants to be within 6 feet of. One of the most infamous shelf warmers of all time. People could find this thing during Beast Machines still on the aisle, but I will do you one better. I distinctly remember going to a Toys R Us and finding an entire stack of these things while I was looking for Armada toys. 5 years later, and it was still clogging the shelves. Some say, in the empty halls of a Toys R Us, you can still hear it skittering around the floor. If a Spirit Halloween hasn't taken it over. The question remains, though, is it a bad toy just because nobody wanted to play with it? Only one way to find out. First off, yeah, just look at it. Take it all in. This is what the designers at Hasbro thought kids would be into in 1997. A giant brown mosquito. What Nimrod at Hasbro thought kids would want this? Nobody likes mosquitoes. I mean, you look at a wasp and like they're jerks, but at least it looks cool. Ants seem boring, but they do cool things. There's nothing cool about a mosquito. They're blood-sucking pests that you want to smack on sight. I mean, they're like little flying scalpers. Mosquitoes are bad enough, and now we're dealing with a giant one. And this is coming from a Floridian. Here, these are life-size. Whoever presented this as an actual toy design had to be the most confident employee to ever work at Hasbro. So, I hear you've got a concept for us. That's pretty ambitious for an intern. Well, as soon as I joined the design team, I knew exactly what toy to make. Yes, but you're a photography intern, so you're not actually a designer. Yes. But as lead designer, I see mosquitoes as the next big thing in boys' toys, and we need to be ahead of the game. Again, photo boy. But what makes you think some kid is actually going to want some giant, ugly, blood-sucking parasite? It's inspired by my wife, and she says as the new chief brand officer for Transformers, I need to think outside the box. Okay, fine. We'll make your giant bug. Just shut up and leave. I don't think you should be talking to your CEO like that. Go! Keep in mind, this was $15 back when it was released. Today, that would be around $25 to $30. Imagine finding something this ugly for sale for that much and expecting people to actually want it. Kind of like how half of Etsy is. The pathetic thing here is the beast mode isn't even accurate. There are brown mosquitoes, but I fail to remember one with such an ugly shade of brown and purple together. I had to make a joke about what it reminds me of, but nature had the sense not to mix these colors together. And yes, it's technically gold, but because the universe has some sick sense of humor, I haven't heard of any one of these things breaking from gold plastic syndrome. Great, though one time I actually want the toy to crumble into dust. They should have known this was dead on arrival because people wouldn't pay $5 for this kind of figure when they made Drill Bit before. Just imagine, there was a period in the mid-90s where every toy aisle had a swarm of brown and purple bugs like a biblical plague with no fashion designer. Now I know colors are subjective, you can like them, there's nothing wrong with that. What is not subjective is the visible hands in the beast mode. He looks like a little kid when they pretend to transform into a car.
I'm Bumblebee!
What's weird is the rest of his robot bits are actually pretty well hidden. The legs form the abdomen, and his head is actually part of the proboscis in this mode. They kind of just gave up at the arms. As usual with these 90s Beast Wars toys, there's not a lot of play function in this mode. The legs are ball jointed at the body, but as standard, the toy's too heavy to stand on them. He does at least have a wing flapping gimmick, so yay? Transquito at least has one distinction that we have to cover here. In Beast Wars, triple changing was something of a myth. The closest you got were the transmetals that sometimes vaguely had some kind of vehicle-ish mode, and it really didn't work. But not here. Not Transquito. This toy makes a legitimate attempt to have a second beast mode. Flipping back the wing pack and turning it around gives him a attack mode. He has an attack mode. It's ambitious, if not cartoonish in proportions. The most notable things are the wings becoming the mandibles, and if I have to be honest, and I do, as much as it pains me to admit, this is actually pretty cool. And yes, I'm serious. Making the wings become the mandibles means the wing flap gimmick becomes a jaw-pinching gimmick. And I do really like when they can make one gimmick function in two different ways. And considering this is just his wing pack, it doesn't interfere with any of the modes too much, making it a good gimmick? Oh God. It's been too long. I've gone soft. I'm complimenting Transquito. What is wrong with it? Okay, I need to find something dumb and lame. There's plenty dumb and lame on this toy. Right. I just have to turn it around because the new mode still has the mosquito head on his rear end. He's a butthead. To be fair, it's not really a second beast mode. The new head doesn't have the right eyes for an insect, and his abdomen is sticking out of his neck. Though you can fan mode that away somewhat. It's just fun to poke at, and it actually is better than most Beast Wars triple changers. No, I'm not running a fever. Guys, I'm starting to think there might be some redeeming qualities to this thing. Okay, alright, so maybe, just maybe, the robot mode is going to give me a little bit more to work with, and maybe by some grace of the universe, I will actually break the toy in the process and not have to do the rest of this review. So, give me a minute.
1 minute later.
Alright, I've got bad news for you. It didn't break. Looking at the robot mode and right off the bat, I've got a couple things we have to point out. One, was this the only idea they ever had for their insects? In G1, they used the front end of cars for chests all the time. In Beast Wars, it was animal heads. Normally, that doesn't stand out, but for the bugs, it's also the wing placement. The bug legs hanging off the arms. Lots of them coming off and looking pretty similar in shape. Even G1 figured out how to transform bugs differently than that. The result is a robot that looks like Waspinator's out-of-work uncle. And thanks to all the bug parts hanging off of him, he freeloads just as much space. And two, we need to address the head sculpt, because I'm surprised a lawyer in 1997 didn't address it. He looks like the Predator if he held his breath too long. I'm kind of surprised Hasbro wasn't sued by 20th Century Fox over this one. Actually, I'm curious now. Is there a purple Predator toy? Hang on. I need to look this up really quick. Wait, what? He is one ugly quote I can't finish without being demonetized. While we're talking about the head, that thing sticking out of it is his missile. The stem of it actually forms the proboscis in the mosquito mode. And even I will admit, that's clever. What's not clever is having a firing missile gimmick from the mouth. Great, so it sucks blood in beast mode and vomits in robot mode. No matter how I play with this toy, I'm just hoping all the bodily fluids stay inside. I hate elements like this. Either he's always puking up his missile, or he has his mouth open all the time like a whale trying to eat plankton. The rest of his robot mode, to my astonishment, isn't that bad. The colors still don't work well, but at least in this mode they're better distributed, and aside from a few lanky parts, the robot's well proportioned. Articulation's a mixed bag, thanks to all the legs on his arms, which is kinda weird to say out loud. The articulation's actually okay, but hindered by his kibble. The bug legs are solid molded pieces. There aren't any joints to collapse them, so they're always going to be sticking out badly in one direction or another. Combine that with the wings that are limited in their positions, and these antennae sticking out like nipples made of seaweed, and you have a figure that's frustrating to find good poses for. Oh, and be careful with the antenna. If the ball joints are too tight, it's really easy to get them stressed. After 2020, I know the feeling. I really just wish I could find more play value to him besides his articulation. Beast Wars toys typically had accessories and action gimmicks in robot mode, especially at this size. Transquito can't even hold a weapon with his open hands. He always looks like he's getting into a slap fight. Though, to be fair, all of us get into slap fights with mosquitoes. My conclusion is that Transquito has typical engineering for a Beast Wars toy and thus is not as bad as his shell forming made him seem, but his problem is in presentation. Imagine if this same design was given a different beast mode, like a Japanese murder hornet or some other insect that should be larger than a deluxe bug. It would have looked a lot better and likely sold better. He'd just be another standard Beast Wars toy nobody really mentions. Instead, the toy gets infamy as one of the worst sellers ever, with ugly colors on an uglier beast mode. And when they couldn't sell Drill Bit at $5, they had to know this one wasn't going to move for $15. That's what they get for trying to market a separate toy that obviously should have just been a Waspinator retooling. Ultimately, no matter how much work you put into something, if it looks bad, no one's going to give it a shot. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go take care of this and make sure there aren't any others floating around here anywhere. I know it's been a long time. Thank you guys for waiting. Once again, I am the Plastic Addict, punishing painful plastic, no matter how long it takes me. Guys, I am facing the most powerful enemy any YouTuber can face, the algorithm, and I need your help to defeat him. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and leave a comment. Every time you do, we attack that algorithm and we drive it back until it can no longer defeat this channel. Thank you very much.